Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a fairly new item from Maxpedition. This is their Platy Pocket Organizer. Now, if you don't know, Maxpedition is kind of like the OG in the pocket organizer game. I remember when I was getting into the EDC game, they were the ones that had the organizers that everybody wanted to have. It was generally the zippered pocket organizers that's kind of clamshelled, and you were able to put all your EDC gear inside of it. And I've owned probably every single size. They started with a regular size, and then they came out with some bigger ones, and then eventually they came out with some smaller ones. And they were just like the kind of like the gold standard in pocket organizers. Now, since then, obviously, a lot of folks have come out with organizers, and the majority of the organizers have now kind of shifted into this style of form factor, which is instead of it being a zipper, all of your items are actually housed outside of the organizer itself, and it's designed to be carried either in a bag or in a pocket or something like that. So they reached out and asked if I'd be interested in checking it out, and they were gracious enough to send a couple of them over. The one that you see here in front of you is going to be the larger size of the Platy Pocket Organizer. This is the 5x7 size, and this one is in the wolf gray color. Now, it is available in a smaller size and a couple of other different colors. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link below if you guys want to go and check them out, or pick one up or two for yourself. So let's take a look at this one here. I've purposely actually not EDC'd this one because I wanted to showcase it to you guys exactly how it comes from Maxpedition. So again, this is the 5x7, which is the larger size in the wolf gray color. And I love the way that Maxpedition does wolf gray, especially with the black accent. I think it looks really, really cool. So obviously materials is going to be, basically your typical Maxpedition materials. Very nice, rugged, it's definitely going to hold up to a lot of wear and use. Stitching is perfect. Everything is nice and stitched. I'm not going to have to worry about anything coming loose. So this particular one, right in the front right here, you're going to have a Maxpedition logo, and then you're going to have two larger kind of pockets here. Now these are perfect for larger EDC items like maybe like a multi-tool or maybe a larger size flashlight. These two pockets will actually accommodate those very, very nicely. Now at the top right here, you do have a row of elastic webbing, which is really nice. I like the fact that they went with elastic as opposed to just the typical molly webbing, because it allows it to expand. So if you have items that maybe are a little bit taller, but you don't want them to move around, the elastic webbing will actually conform to that. And you have a larger portion in the middle and then two smaller portions on the side. Again, if you wanted to put multiple things that will feed into these pockets, you can go ahead and do that. I like the fact that the top of the pockets is reinforced. So again, if you have pocket clips and things like that, they're not going to be wearing on the material. Then on the very back right here, you do have a larger pocket. Now this is perfect for, again, larger size items. So if you have maybe a larger notebook that you want to write stuff down on, or maybe like your cell phone or something like that, you can go ahead and put that in there. Now I can tell you from my experience, this one right here at the 5x7 size is a little bit too big to carry like in a cargo pocket or something like that. But this is a perfect size for a bag carry. So if you want to load this up and with different items, maybe like your EDC items, and you want to put it into your bag, you can go ahead and do that. This will also work very nicely in like a glove compartment or center console of a vehicle. I think depending on how you set up the kit, it's going to work very, very nicely for you. Now, one of the things that I do like about Maxpedition is that they do put some thought into how you're going to be using, their different items. So as opposed to just leaving it like this, where you would either put it in a pocket or something like that, they actually gave you another way of carrying it via this cordage right here. So what they did is they built this into these little grommets right here, and they attach to the organizer, and it gives you a different way of carrying it. Now you can either carry this around your neck, or depending on if you wanted to put maybe a little bit longer length of cordage and wear it like to your side or something like that, you can go ahead and do that as well. Again, maybe you're going to go to a convention or something like that, and you want to have some of your tools readily available, for you. You can hang this around your neck, and you'll be able to wear it that way as well. Again, if you don't want to, you can just go ahead and remove this. You do have this little cinching strap right here, which you can make it shorter or longer. And then if you don't want to use it, you can go ahead and remove the cordage, and you're good to go. Besides that, you do have a little grab handle at the top right here. Again, if you're going to have this like inside of a bag and you want to go ahead and retrieve it, it makes it a little bit easier than having to grab the whole thing. You know, you could just kind of grab onto that. But if you wanted to hang like a carabiner or something like that, or, you know, put a carabiner on this and hang it from the bag, that's another way of carrying it as well. As you turn it around on the other side, as you can see, I left the tag here. This is, again, the Platy Pocket Organizer, the 5x7 size in the wolf gray color. On the bottom here, you have another Maxpedition logo sewn into it right there. And then you have these two larger size pockets. Now, it's interesting that they didn't do the black kind of accent on the top right here, but it is double stitched as well. So, you know, and it's doubled over. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. But this is perfect, again, for longer items, maybe like a pen or a longer flashlight or something like that. You know, these two pockets will accommodate those very nicely. As you can see, they are a little bit taller, so they're deeper than the ones in the front here. So if if you're worried about maybe something popping out because it's too long, then you can go ahead and put it in the back right there. And then last but not least, I do love the fact that they included this larger pocket right here in the center via this, that you access via this zipper right here. You have a little paracord pull, and then it opens up, and it's just a large kind of dump pocket right in there. This is perfect, especially if you have smaller kind of loose items that you don't want to be feeding into these pockets because, you know, it'll be difficult for you to get your hands in there to get. This is perfect for that. So a couple of uses that I would see for the 5x7 size is maybe like a small kind of individual first aid kit. You know, that would be perfect. You know, you could, put the different items on the outside, and then inside right there, you can put like all your Band-Aids and smaller items and whatnot. That would be perfect, especially to keep this like either in a bag or inside of your vehicle. Now, another really awesome use for this is as a tech pouch. So, if you travel and you want to carry all your chargers and cables and stuff like that, this is going to be a really good option for that too. You have a lot of spots to put cables. In the center right here, you can put like your charging bricks and things like that. And then in the back right here, you can actually fit like a power bank. So this would be a perfect kind of like, tech pouch to carry around with you. So as I mentioned, they do have another size, which is a smaller size, and they actually did send that out to me. And it's the one that I've been seeing right here. And as you can see, this is in a multicam color. Now this particular one is going to be a 4x6 size, so it's going to be a little bit smaller. And then obviously, depending on what you have in here, this is going to be perfect to carry like in a cargo pocket. But also, if you don't have too many items where it's going to, make it kind of bulge out too much, you can actually fit this into like a back pocket of your jeans or your pants and stuff like that. So, really, really nice way of carrying all your gear in one. So I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown. Now, for all intents and purposes, the pocket layout is going to be exactly the same as the bigger brother. It's just a smaller version of that. So you do have the two pockets in the front. I just have a couple of knives there. This one right here is just like a little beater knife from Amazon that I use to like open up boxes and stuff like that. I don't mind it getting gunked or anything like that. And then on the other side is my regular EDC knife, which is a QSP Penguin. As you can see, there's a little bit of a theme going on in the coloring. I just felt like it matched this kind of multicam color of the bag pretty nicely. I have a little molly clip right here in the center, kind of taking use of the elastic band right there. And then right behind that, I do have a small little mini composition book. It fits perfectly in there. It doesn't go all the way down. So, sticks out just enough that I can go ahead and grab it and use it if I have to. As you can see, I removed that length of cordage because, again, I'm using this to put it in my pocket, so it's not going to go around my neck or anything like that. But if you wanted to, you can go ahead and leave that on or actually put it back on. It's very easy. You just feed the cordage through the two little grommets right here, and you are good to go. Now, again, if I'm going to be carrying this around my neck, I would probably be carrying the smaller size with a couple little items here and there as opposed to the larger one. But again, it all depends on what you're going to be carrying. Now, this one does have the little grab handle at the top there, perfect for pulling out of the pocket if you need to. And then across the back, you do have the same layout with those two deeper pockets. The first one here, I just have a pen. This is actually, it's got the channel logo on there, so it's really nice. It fits very nicely right in there. And then on the other side, I do have a flashlight. Now, this flashlight is a little bit on the larger side, but it is a flat flashlight, and as you can see, it fits very nicely right in there. It goes almost all the way down, so it fits it pretty nice. And then this does have that larger kind of pocket there. Now, I don't carry too much in there now. I just have a couple of swag items, some stickers and some poker chips for the channel. That's what I use to kind of give out instead of business cards. But I have enough room that if I had to pick something else up, maybe if I wanted to throw some Band-Aids, alcohol wipes or something like that in there, some gauze, I could do that and just have like a tiny mini first aid kit in there as well. You know, it gives you more than enough room for that, as you guys can see. So I think Maxpedition is definitely doing a really good job with these Platy Pocket Organizers. They feel very nice. It's great quality, as Maxpedition has always been. But I like the layout of the pockets. I think it's very intuitive, especially for EDC carry. I think they actually had that thought process in their mind. You know, how they lay out the pockets, you know, it works very well for EDC carry. And when I say EDC carry, I mean to carry things like flashlights, knives, pens, tools, gear, things like that. Sometimes, you know, you'll have these organizers from other companies, and they just put pockets just to put pockets, or maybe, you know, webbing just to put webbing. I think the thought process behind what Maxpedition is doing here is very, you know, they put a lot of thought into it. So I wanted to go ahead and showcase these for you guys because I'm not sure if a lot of people know about them, but I think it's a great addition into the pocket organizer market, especially from a well-known company. And if anything, the construction is obviously top-notch, as all Maxpedition products are. So again, if you guys are interested, I will leave a link below where you guys can go ahead and check these out in some of the different colors. They do have the 2 sizes available, so the 4x6 and the 5x7. And again, this is the Platy Pocket Organizer from Maxpedition. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.